This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Not even been 24 hours since I last caught up with Eddie. I'm big numbers on the other one.
Was it?
200.
You're joking. I am massive.
I think because the headline said you're reacting to Fury White. So.
No, don't mug me off, Umar. I'm still massive. Who else is delivering you those numbers? Come on.
Jake Paul?
All right, what did he get?
No, I haven't done him yet, to be fair.
Yeah, well, exactly. At least you can get me.
Talk to me about this week. Obviously, the public workout. Now we've got a presser tomorrow, weigh-in, and as the week goes on, it's just going to get bigger and bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, just the media workout actually today, which is incredible because when you see how many people are in here, it feels like an open workout, but it's not. This event just continuously surprises me because it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and every day. We're Wednesday, so it's quite amazing to see so many media here, so many opportunities. Of course, Empire State Building yesterday, etc. We know about it, we talked about it, but every day getting bigger and bigger, and it's not going to stop till Saturday.
Being honest, when you started your project with women's boxing, did you ever think it'd reach this point?
No, I started this project with women's boxing because I met a young woman who inspired me. I met a young woman. I thought, you know what, I want to be part of this journey. If we can have some fun here and we can break down some barriers, it might be something that would be remembered about for a long time. But if you'd have told me that we'd sell out Madison Square Garden, I always joke with Katie. One day we'll be at Madison Square Garden, main event, you'll be selling it out. You'll be making 7 figures. But it's just something that you say and something you dream of. But listen, I'd love to take credit, and I should take small credit, because what she has done has been incredible. She's consistently broke the boundaries for years and years and years. And I will be so proud on Saturday night when I see her walk out of this venue. And you know what, Umar, I was thinking, I never really think about what I'm going to say at a press conference. Not even 2 minutes before, I just sit down and talk. But I've been thinking about what I'm going to say in this press conference, and it's really about inspiring people to go out and chase their dreams. If you have a passion for something, if you work hard enough, you believe in something, anything's possible. And then I thought, do you know what? I have 2 daughters myself. They should watch these 2 women and say, wow, look at them. They went out. Everyone told them it couldn't be done. They went out and they chased their dreams. They worked hard, and that's what life's all about. Then I started thinking, this is bigger than just young girls. This is for anyone. Where anyone tells you that something isn't possible. So, they really need to go out, people, and they're showing people that anything is possible. And they're massively inspirational people, particularly Katie Taylor. And obviously, I'm so proud of her.
What do you say to fans and also people at Sky Sports and Boxer who say that Shields Marshall is the bigger fight?
Put Shields Marshall at MSG. Sell about 2,000 tickets. And there's no disrespect to that fight. It's a good fight. But you're talking about 2 legends of the sport. This is Mayweather-Pacquiao for women's boxing. You've got an undisputed champion. You've got a 7-division world champion, and it's much bigger globally in America, in the UK, than Shields Marshall. But what it's doing is it's giving those fights the opportunity. Shields Marshall, they can go out and make 7 figures now for a fight. We could go out and do Baumgardner against Maia. Great fight. So it's putting the blueprint in place, but not everywhere is going to go and sell out the Garden and get millions of viewers around the world. But what they've consistently done is been trailblazers, and they're doing it again on Saturday night.
Yeah, just get you to move slightly this way, the light's blocking off, where MVP is, working with Jake Paul. How has that been so far?
Brilliant. The politics of boxing, right? We argue about it all the time. See, when you get 2 people, it's like, if you say to me, oh, do you like Jake Paul? I don't even think about whether I like Jake Paul or not. Do I like working with Jake Paul? Yeah, he's been brilliant. So people the ego in boxing is so out of control. People would rather not work with people to grow an event just out of spite or just out of not giving them the leg up. Jake Paul can be the lead promoter. I don't care. If he's going to help sell this event out, if he's going to help drive subscribers on DAZN, brilliant. And that's all he cares about. All he cares about is making this event as big as possible. And therefore, what a great promotional partner.
Having said that, in terms of the American market, do you not want to repair your relationship with PBC and Al Heyman? Listen,
if people are worried about working with me for other reasons other than making great fights, there's not really a lot I can do. I'm not going to go back. Over time, you learn. I think I made some mistakes early in my career by being too aggressive, right? By coming in too bullish. But guess what? That's me. And the only way I wanted to come in and make an impact, and I don't think I would have had the same impact if I would have come in and not been outspoken, come in and not said how I feel, not been real, not interacted with social media and with the fans and stuff like that. So, no, do you know what? I'm going to be me. Like me, don't like me, but I do also understand that maybe there's a specific way to deal with certain people that would help make certain fights. But I also don't want to take away from what I'm all about, which is about being outspoken, which is about being passionate, which is about being honest, whether you believe it or not. I'm going to tell you how I feel. And banter. I don't want to be boring. I want to be remembered as a disruptor, really, someone that went in and changed the sport, not someone that went in and just complied with a couple of old people because it was, that's what you do. You don't. But there you go.
You still want to work with them.
Of course I want to work, but that's not. This is what I'm saying about Jake Paul. That people want me not involved because they're worried about me growing or getting a leg up or coming into the US market, rather than saying, wow, how much value can he bring to this? But my relationship with Top Rank is absolutely fine. I've got cold calls with them today about fights. My relationship with PBC is quite poor, right? But I've got a very good relationship with Louis de Cubas, but they don't want to make fights outside of the platforms. I don't really, but I will do, and you've seen me do that in the past. But, I'm also bigger than all of them. So maybe we just blow them out of the game day by day.
Just to counteract that, though, obviously PBC have some huge names.
They don't even promote globally.
I mean, in America.
So what huge names do the PBC have?
Errol Spence.
I've got Canelo Alvarez, 20 times bigger than Errol Spence. Next?
Jamel Charlo.
Okay, I've got Anthony Joshua, 1,000,000 times bigger than Jamel Charlo. Well, but you're not giving me anyone.
Just have the Charlo twins, Spence.
They're not big.
In America?
Well, you think Canelo Alvarez ain't bigger than... But add them all up, right? And then all of them added up aren't as big as Canelo Alvarez. So we're the only global promotional company in the world. The only global promotional company. I'm just a little fat... Well, I'm not little. I'm a big fat geezer from Essex who's come over to the US to try and take everybody on. And I'm doing it, and I'm living it, and I'm loving it.
Don't be too harsh. You lost some weight. So.
2 stone. I'm absolutely ripped to shreds.
And in terms of the UK market, obviously BT have extended their deal with Frank Warren. So
I know he announced it. I didn't see a BT announcement, but that's great. Like every investment that's made into the UK market, fantastic. And right now you've got BT, you've got DAZN, you've got Sky, you've got Channel 5 doing some boxing with Wasserman, you've got Fight TV, I think, doing some stuff, Eurosport, whatever. Brilliant. The more the merrier.
I was going to say, considering the extension with that deal, I know you guys were supposed to meet back in lockdown, and you say you want to work with everyone. Is that now a potential avenue, especially if Anthony Joshua beats Usyk?
Take Tyson Fury out, because I don't know if his contract's up or whatever that situation is. Tell me the fighters that are with Queensberry that I could make fights with.
Yarde, Dubois, Joyce.
I offered Yarde £1 million.
He had a world title shot.
Fuck off. Umar, you are such a clown sometimes, right? Listen to me now. What world title shot has he got? Listen, this is where you're all over the gaff, right? Umar. Frank Warren the other day done an interview and he went, yeah, I was going to, or Yarde did, and he went, can't really take the Boazzi fight because I'm going to fight the winner of Better Behave against Joe Smith. A fight that's not even made yet. Right? And by the way, when that champion wins, there'll be a super champion. They probably won't even have a mandatory due. Right? So you're talking about, rather than take... This offer was in like January or February. You could have fought Boazzi for £1 million in April or May. But you're waiting for the winner of a fight that hasn't even been scheduled yet. So if Better Behave fights Joe Smith, right? What's going to happen? That fight's going to take place in July, August. The winner of that fight might be ready in November, December. So what are you doing with Yarde? You're going to wait a year for a fight. And by the way, guess what's going to happen to the winner of Better Behave against Joe Smith? They're going to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed £175 title that every sanctioning body's going to say yes to. So, but no one questions, like, why doesn't someone say in that interview, well, what are you going to do, Anthony Yarde? I'm going to wait. Wait till when? Oh, till I get my shot. What, in December at the very earliest? Oh yeah, so what are you doing from when he last boxed? Can't remember when that was, February or when, I don't know. So what are you doing?
I asked Anthony Yarde this, and he said you're very smart because when he got to the number one with the WO, you put in the offer, but you didn't put in the offer before.
The number one in the WBO is irrelevant. It doesn't exist. He hasn't been called for a mandatory. He's not ready to fight for the WBO title. There's another fight that's going to happen. Then there's another fight that's going to happen after that. Does he believe he can beat Joshua Buatsi? If he does, take the £1 million and then fight Joe Smith in December. This was in February. We're only in April. But no one asks these questions to say, all right, if you get the fight in December, which is the fastest you'll get it, right? Which you won't get it then anyway, because Canelo Alvarez will fight for the undisputed probably. What are you going to do in the meantime? And how much are you going to get? But I like Anthony Yarde, I didn't pop it in, but no one's saying to him, I just think he's being told stuff that he don't like. I'm telling you the landscape of the division. We didn't make an offer because he's about to get a shot. He ain't about to get a shot.
Would you have put the offer in if he wasn't instated at number one?
Of course, because the shot's not there. Him being number one is irrelevant right now because that fight ain't happening. First there's a unification, then there'll be an undisputed, and if there's not an undisputed, he's not going to fight for it till December. So what are you doing? Waiting a whole year for a fight that might not even happen, rather than get £1 million in a fight you're supposed to be able to win.
I don't even know how we've come on to Buatsi Yarde, but
that's just a good example of something where people actually don't question the situation. When Frank Warren said, "Oh, I didn't put Yarde on the Wembley card because he's waiting for a world title shot." What? They haven't even announced the other fight that's going to happen before that in about 3 months' time. So what? Yarde can't fight till this whole year. Anyway.
Moving on. You got a little bit of stick yesterday for some of the comments you made about Fury. You said that he's got to beat certain people to go down as the greatest of this era, i.e. Usyk and Joshua. Do you stand by that?
Yeah, but we talk about era, yeah? I mean, if you want to compare him to Lennox Lewis, if you want to compare him to great fighters of the past, you cannot do that from him beating Deontay Wilder and Vladimir Klitschko. Is he the best heavyweight on the planet right now? I think we have to say yes. Very close between him and Usyk, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm just saying, if you want to be a generational great, you like the number 2 in the world right now is Alexander Usyk, right? Number 3 is Anthony Joshua. Whatever way you want to call it, right? I don't believe you can put anyone else in number.
Wilder?
No, but who's Wilder beat, Umar? Who has Wilder ever beaten?
Luis Ortiz. Very close fight with Tyson Fury the first time.
You don't answer my question. Who has Deontay Wilder beaten?
Luis Ortiz.
Okay, who else?
Dominic Brazil. You always list him. You always list him with Joshua.
I never list Dominic Brazil when I'm going through his key wins, AJ's key wins. No, look, I go through his key wins, and I'll give you the whole resume. I'm going, and by the way, AJ boxed Dominic Brazil. Wilder boxed Dominic Brazil. Sorry, like what? A year ago. Wilder did. Before the Ruiz fight. Like AJ boxed him 4 years before that when he was 16-0 or something like that. Anyway, Wilder's key wins, he ain't got none. How can you say that Wilder is a better heavyweight than Anthony Joshua when Joshua has beaten Klitschko, Dillian White, everyone wants to include that in Tyson Fury's resume, Joseph Parker, Alexander Povetkin, Andy Ruiz. Like it goes on and on. So what I'm saying is, Tyson Fury's number 1. Number 2, Alexander Usyk. Number 3, Anthony Joshua. Fury hasn't boxed them. He hasn't beaten them. If he beats those guys, he will go down, in my opinion, as in the same breath as the last undisputed heavyweight world champion, which was Lennox Lewis. Fury, great heavyweight. Best heavyweight right now in the world. Give him all the credit in the world. Don't talk to me about generational greats. He may be. I think he's got the ability to be. But let's see what happens in July when AJ fights Usyk, and let's see if he wants to fight the winner. I hope he does, because he's a tremendous fighter, and I think he's in the prime of his life, and I would love to see if he can secure that kind of generational greatness.
Last one on this, Frank was on Talk Sport, and he said that if Joshua were to beat Usyk and Tyson wants to carry on, that he believes that Tyson deserves a bigger split in that fight. That's what he said.
Yeah, I know, but you might as well say, I don't want the fight. Like, for years and years, AJ had to give 50-50 for a guy that wasn't worth it. If AJ beats Usyk, right, all of a sudden the argument is AJ's the best heavyweight in the world. So right now, it's irrelevant to talk about. You think that if AJ beats Usyk, that he doesn't deserve 50-50 against Tyson Fury. Anyway, it's irrelevant. The Fury-AJ fight, despite every man and his dog continuously asking me when's that fight happening, he's fighting Alexander Usyk in July. So let's get that out of the way. Let's see if he can win. I believe he wins. And when he wins, we're going to make a Tyson Fury fight, and he's going to beat him.
Just to play devil's advocate to that, never me. In the lead up to Fury White, your two kind of things about Fury was he's not a big ticket. No, I didn't. He's not a big ticket seller, and he's a non-puncher. Obviously, he's knocked out Wilder, knocked out White, and he broke the European record for a sporting event at Wembley the other day. So has he not kind of breached those criticisms of yours?
I think it's not criticism. He's never. If you go back to his fights, he's never been a massive ticket seller. Is he now? Absolutely. His profile over the last 2 or 3 years has gone through the roof. He's headlined at Vegas twice. He's been in the WWE. But, you know, I feel like as well, Dillian Whyte played a big part in that fight. It was a great British fight. I don't think he's a massive one-punch knockout artist. And I stand by that even now. He knocked out Dillian Whyte, he knocked out Deontay Wilder, but he's never...
Who's a bigger puncher in the division at the moment then?
Anthony Joshua, a much bigger puncher than Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder, much bigger puncher than Tyson Fury.
But isn't Fury up there as a puncher?
I think now he's starting to be. I think Sugar Hill's done a tremendous job, and I think he's turned him into a much bigger puncher. But I don't see him. But I think I said in your interview yesterday, he consistently proves me wrong. I didn't think he'd beat Klitschko. I didn't think he'd beat Wilder the first time. And I didn't think he'd knock out Dillian Whyte like that, and he'd done all 3 of them. So I have to give him respect. I can only give you my opinion as a fan, like anyone else would. And I think can he punch? Absolutely. Is he one of the biggest punchers in the division? I don't think so. But his power is obviously improving.
When you were in Monaco with him, do you not kind of regret not signing him now?
I never regret anything, because I had to make a business decision at the time, and this is why I give him a lot of respect again, because I looked at this guy that I thought would never fight again. He wanted to fight Seferi and Pianetta, like those kind of fights, for a load of money. And if I would have known that he would have fought Deontay Wilder after those 2 fights, which wasn't the plan when we sat down, the plan was to fight Seferi and those guys, have 2 fights, then go into a Manuel Char or someone like that, and then look at something else. But he did it very quickly, and how he came back from that, I don't know, and that's why I will always give him maximum respect, because he proved me wrong again. And you know, if your question is, would I like to promote Tyson Fury? Of course. But at the time, I had to make a decision. I didn't feel like it was worth the investment from us, and I was wrong. And I give him all the credit in the world.
Last question: what's this bet with Jake Paul about this fight?
Nothing. I think someone was saying, is there going to be a money bet? Which, you know, but he said maybe it'll be a tattoo bet. But I don't do tattoos.
I hope he goes through with it.
Could get IFL or something like that. It'd be nice. Or Umar IFL.
I never thought I'd have those words coming out of you, Eddie. Thank you for your time. You chilled out now?
I'm all chilled, but you got to be told sometimes, because you're good at what you do, but you're also deluded, and you just have to make sure that I put you right every now and again.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.